Hi, thanks for coming. What would you see, so I know religion's going to be here a long time, but one of the arguments for less government involvement with things is that if people hold on to their money more, they will be in a position to take care of the poor, the widow, the orphan, the oppressed, etc. And usually that's done through religion. Can you imagine where else that might come from? Do you think that it's possible for those people to be taken care of outside of a religious context and outside of a political context? And is there any, are there any examples of that in governments, in other governments?
Yeah. I am not denying the role which Americans of all political persuasions now agree on, that the state has in supplying a social safety net. I am saying that there are potential costs to this, and I don't just mean only or even primarily financial costs. There is a cost of a crowding out of private initiative, a crowding out of charity, an offloading, if you will, of all social responsibilities onto the state. It is indicative, surely, of something important, that the charitable impulse in the United States is far stronger than it is in Europe, and the welfare states are far stronger in Europe than they are in the United States. That the United States has been tardy, some people say backward, I say prudent, in not offloading so much of social responsibility onto the state. That's all I'm saying. That there is a cost beyond the financial costs of the entitlement state that ought to be thought about. Particularly because right now this becomes extremely practical as we scramble around looking for revenues to fund the entitlement state. People say, one way to get more revenues is to limit charitable deductions. So the state grows, and at the same time, simultaneously, and because of that, it limits the efficacy of the charitable impulse.
Do you think that outside of religious organizations or the government, do you think something else would fill that vacuum?
Lots of things.
Okay.
There's what de Tocqueville's Democracy in America is still the greatest book ever written by one country by a citizen of another. He wrote it in Jacksonian America when we were just becoming a mass democracy, and nothing struck him more than the fecundity of American society in generating spontaneous order of voluntary associations. It's America. I mean, no other country is like this. When the wagon trains would leave, Daniel Borston, a great American historian who later was Librarian of Congress, Borston wrote in his book about the wagon trains leaving St. Joseph, Missouri. About the second day out, they'd circle the wagons and write a constitution for the wagon train and assign tasks and have committees. It's in our national DNA. Partly because we believe in governance from the bottom up.